Hello and welcome back. So, Reconstruction. Now, Abraham Lincoln, it's we don't have enough time to go into all the complexities surrounding his person, but he wanted to make sure that there was as little animosity between the North and the South as possible. He wanted a smooth reintegration, a quick reintegration, so that the country could go about healing and repairing itself. Now, his plan, there's a lot of criticism surrounding his plan, a lot of speculation that it might not have worked. It might have just restored, the status quo before the war. It's a lot of things. There's a really great series on YouTube called Alternate History Hub. I highly recommend it. They have a video like, what if Lincoln was never assassinated? What if he stayed through his second term of presidency? I highly recommend you watch it. Just, go on a search, watch it after you finish watching this. Now, on to Reconstruction. So Lincoln, he was assassinated. He was going to see a play. It was a comedy. Basically, they were celebrating the end of this really destructive conflict, and he was killed. And so therefore, his plan for readmitting the states was pretty much thrown out the window. Here you can see his funeral procession. It lasted for several days, and eventually went back to his home in Springfield, Illinois. So definitely one of the most revered presidents of all time. But now, he was a member of the Republican Party. And the Republicans were kind of divided on the issue of how to reintegrate states. However, there were a group of Republicans who formed the majority, and they took over the plan. These were called the Radical Republicans. They were very much on the side of, the war was the South's fault. They did not have a right to secede, and so therefore they need to be punished. And if they're going to be reintegrated into the country, we can't have any of this, only 10% of the people nonsense. A majority of the citizens have to swear loyalty to the Union. No former Confederates can be a part of government. And just to add into the pot, the radical Republicans were very much in favor of guaranteeing African American rights. So they wanted to pass the Civil Rights Act of 1866 to grant full citizenship to African Americans. But for fear that this would not be enough, they actually pushed for the 14th Amendment, because a simple act of Congress could be overturned in court. However, if it is an amendment to the Constitution, that is almost irrefutable. And if you want to overturn an amendment, that is a far lengthier and just more time-consuming process. So they created the 14th Amendment, guaranteeing all rights to anybody born in this country. So if you're here, if you were born within the borders of the United States, congratulations, you have all rights and privileges granted to you as citizens. So when they created this amendment, all the former slaves pretty much were born in this country. So therefore, they were automatically granted full citizenship rights. And so, of course, all those rights that are included are rights to vote. So if males of a certain age have a right to vote, well, a bunch of new voters just entered the picture. And so this becomes this really kind of nebulous, ever-changing time period, because you have Black people joining the House of Representatives, joining the Senate. You have a few African-American Black governors in the South. And it's amazing that we have this, and that in the blink of an eye, it is gone. And in later videos, we're going to talk about how it disappears.